Alrighty then, I am here, and I'm unsure if you guys can hear me. So if you cannot, please let me know. Um, I'm just going to have this channel over here. I'm still trying to learn the internet of these. So we got that, and we're going to edit this. I have Fela Kuti stuck in my head. Okay, first we want to do this. Change. Paste. Done. That's happening. Okay, boom. Now we want to edit this. I want to only thing I don't really care for is the fact that you have to like. This is annoying. Okay. You know what? It says 2 people are watching now. Where y'all at? All right. I was trying to figure out how this works on my So for those who are in here, oh, okay, it's just me now. That's fine. I want if you guys could let other people know we're getting started. I'm about to get started this council meeting. I asked people to do their homework. So for this meeting, we were supposed to look up at least 2 places in your area that are for sale or for lease that are reasonably priced. We also asked for you to look up what the deadline dates were to get questions added onto the ballot this year, and also to be on the ballot this year. For those of you who are interested in getting into politics, we have not reached the the deadline date yet, and we were going to come together and devise a plan. I also have information on how to create your own political party to be recognized by the state. We're also going to talk about possibly setting up our own kind of hotline, if you will, to support one another in different ways. A lot of you guys are caregivers and nurturers, and that's great. A lot of people like to put price tags on our things, but it doesn't hurt for us to just uplift each other just cause. So I just want to kind of put together a community, if you will. It's time to build a community. We've talked long enough. It's time to put some action to the talking. So for those of you who would like to join, I am on StreamYard. Here is the, nope, that's not it. We don't want to do that. Sorry about that. I want to give businesses an opportunity to get on this platform and introduce themselves, introduce what they bring to the table and things like that. So here is the link. You guys can, I guess, let me know if you want to get in on here or whatever. Introduce yourself, introduce your business, what it is you stand for, what it is that you're trying to do. Oh, we can hide that. That's not necessary. And I guess go from there, if you will, right? Why not? So, Andy takers. Let's give people a few minutes to come in on here. It's weird. I feel like I'm talking to myself. But I'm just gonna go. Y'all can listen to me. If y'all don't want to participate, that's fine. So first things first, you guys know all about Let's Nobodies. You know about what we do. We're kind of like a metaphysical arts and entertainment communication medium, if you will. And we do a plethora of things. Let's Nobodies has books. We have our first children's story, which is called Show and Tell. Is each student goes to the front of their classroom and talks about where they're from and some things about their culture. And the intentions with that is teaching diversity, teaching the elements of diversity, and teaching kids early on about diversity, because when you're educated on other people different from yourself, there's a greater tolerance, right? So that education is essential. A lot of things that bother us about other people's cultures is they don't bother to learn about our culture, to learn about different cultures outside of their own. So there's like a level of ignorance there, a level of denial to experiences of other people. So with that children's book, I try to help demolish that, if you will. I also have a horror story that's out. We do music. We do organite jewelry, which is all about cleansing your energy on a spiritual level. Music is all about your energy and promoting positive energy. You know, so many people make songs about all these negative things. So what Let's Nobody strives to do is to make music, positive music that people can dance to without sounding too cheesy. So that's what that is. What else do we have? Do we have this communication medium? We'll start doing Nobody's Watching, which is basically a TV channel where we'll be allowing people who have commercials, trailers, TV shows, or whatever, get on our platform, and their show or whatever video they have or whatever will be on rotation in our studio, if you will. And that's another thing that we have that we are offering. So that's basically Let's Nobodies in a nutshell. I'm just talking to buy some time because I was waiting for this to start. Okay. So yeah, that's the first thing. The business that we were introducing. Next things next. What is happening? Now, all right, Mercury. I'm not going, I'm not. Okay, whatever. So, next thing I want to talk about is the elections, the positions for 2020. I'm going to share my screen with you guys so you guys can see. I did some research on, I live in Burlington City. I also live in the state of New Jersey. Yeah, I live in Burlington City, New Jersey. And I want to show you guys some of the deadlines as far as, there you go. As far as the elections go. So we missed a few deadlines, of course. You know, everybody was in quarantine while a lot of things were going on, and that's okay. So we're going to skirt. Today is the 18th. So we missed you guys were supposed to register to vote. The 16th was the deadline. So if you have not registered already, see if you can still get in there. I would personally show up to the DMV, call whoever you need to call in your area and tell them, ask them maybe if you can get in now. If there's still time for you, like a last minute type thing. I'm not exactly sure how that works. But June 16th was the voter registration deadline for the primary election because July 7th is election, right? So mandated evening voter registration available for primary elections in offices of county commissioners of registration. June 23rd, that's the deadline for filing of a challenger appointment for a primary election. And what that is if you're want to sit in the rooms with the ballot, when they're doing the ballots while people are voting, you sit in there and you make sure everybody's doing things accordingly. You make sure the opposing parties aren't doing anything unethical, et cetera, et cetera. Deadline to apply for mail-in ballot for primary election is June 30th. So if you know you're not going to be in the state, in the area where you need to be to vote by June 30th, please just make sure you send off your mail-in ballot by the 30th. Yep. So July 3rd is the deadline for application to receive primary election mail-in ballots by electronic means. So if you live overseas as a civilian or military, please let them know July 3rd is their deadline for the mail-in ballot. July 6th is the publication of challenge and complaint procedures. So for those who do the challenge petitions and stuff like that, that is the deadline for that, for the plans and organization. Primary election day is July 7th. Don't forget, please, don't forget. So July 7th is all of the primary election, every level on everything. There was something else I was looking for. Canvas, primary election votes by county. Deadline for recount applications. Deadline for applications for recheck. Preparation, emergency, permit. No, that's not it. Publication of notice. Okay, yeah, this is it. So for those of you who want to go for positions, there's nomination deadlines. You have petition. The only thing that's required for a lot of these positions, like in the city and county and stuff like that, is you have to be living in that area for a whole year prior to prior to the election, which for a lot of you, that's not bad. I know a few council people, and I think council people, while it is a very strenuous job because you are literally answering phone calls, it's the most interpersonal position. If you are really into cleaning up your city and things like that, definitely I would say go for a council person. That's a really good position. It's very hands-on and things like that. That's if you have time, place, and desire. But the nomination petition filing deadline for independent candidate, I can't talk, for the independent candidates is July 7th. So if you have to have at least 100 signatures on the petition to be a candidate. Okay. So 100 signatures. And if you guys are interested in that, let me know, because I have the actual petitions. I have the primary election petition for the municipal office and the county and all, I think, yeah, the school, the board, School of Ed, and all that fun stuff. I have all of that. And the deadline for that is July 7th. So we definitely want to get that done if you're interested in doing that. And I was thinking about doing, for those of you who are interested, I was thinking about doing at least an event prior to the 7th, between now and the 7th, so we could at least get your face out and about, let people know you exist, what you're trying to do, etc., etc. If you want to get in on the StreamYard chat to be able to comment so I can see, because interaction is definitely welcomed here. I feel like I'm talking to myself. But if you look on letsnobodiescollection.com, click on the tab Nobody's Talking, and you'll see a button there that says StreamYard chat. It's a green button. Click on that button and it'll bring you right to the StreamYard page. You can chat on the side. I can invite you to put your face on the screen so you can chat with me, etc., etc. So, you know, you can do that if you like. But yeah. So July 7th is the petition filing deadline for the general election for the Board of Fire Commissioners, for the county clerks, school districts. July 10th is the deadline for any amendments to defective petitions. So with that being said, you can have an incomplete petition. Say you don't get everything that you want done on your petition. Turn it in on the 7th anyway. You have until the 10th to fix it, okay? So that's a plus. They gave you 3 extra days, basically, if you want to, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, so the deadline to the amendments for the independent general election candidates is July 10th. The deadline for objections to nomination petitions is July 13th. So if anybody, if you want to speak out to any of these petitions, if you're looking up petitions and you want to speak against some, you have until the 13th to speak your mind on some of these petitions. And the deadline, it was some more deadlines I want to talk to you about. But for those of you who are interested in getting into politics, those are your deadlines. You have until the 7th and then until the 10th to get your stuff right and get it in. And I would like to host an event to put you out there. And we're also going to do a we're also going to do, oh, there we go. Okay, so it was something else that I really wanted to look up. Well, I did look up already, and I want to read off to y'all. It was about the questions on the ballot. So, we can add questions to the ballot if we want to. I don't know if you guys have any input on questions that could be added to the ballot, but I think one question that I would like to add would be pertaining to the police department, maybe in regards to revamping the police department altogether. I don't know exactly how to word that question legally, but I would like to add that to the ballot. And this is just the general election timeline, right? But it should be up here. I want to say it was like, oh, okay, yeah, here it is. So the deadline for submission of non-binding county and municipal public questions to the county clerks for printing on the general election ballot, that's August 14th. So that's when that deadline is. Deadline for submission of public questions other than proposed amendments to the New Jersey Constitution is August 25th. Another thing we should make our business in the month of July is reading the New Jersey Constitution. I think the next few meetings we'll probably be going over pieces at a time of the New Jersey Constitution and deciphering if there's anything that we want to propose, maybe a question, maybe some type of proposal to an amendment or this, that, and the third. Definitely. I think we should have as many questions as possible and submit as many as possible, because I would rather we have at least one up there because we submitted 20 than have none up there because we only submitted one. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. So yeah, the deadline for submission of public questions is the 14th, and then again on the 25th. That has nothing to do with the amendments to the New Jersey Constitution. Deadline for independent candidates to decline nomination is August 25th. So if you nominated yourself or other people nominated you for a position and you decide, hey, I don't want to do it, you have until August 25th to change your mind. For the school board and the fire district, you have also until the 25th. Deadline for submission to the county clerk, public questions adopted by the municipal governing body, the filing of a qualified petition by the local electorate is the 28th. So that's what I have. So deadline to submit public questions for the school board elections is September 4th. That's another date that you want to keep at hand or whatever, because you know, there's some things that are being taught in the school that I would like to be questioned about. I think that Black American history should definitely be more implemented, as well as the Native American history in this country. And also present day, when talking about not just history, but just American society altogether. There's a present day American social study class or whatever that these kids are doing, but they're not speaking on what the Native Americans are going through right now, Black Americans or anything. So like more emphasis needs to be put on that. I know some teachers, they force that into their curriculum, which is great, but they shouldn't have to force it into the curriculum. It should be there. So that's the deadline for that, September 4th, to get public questions to the school board of elections for the school board. Do you have any questions that you think we should add to the ballot as far as the general election goes? No. I think one of my major questions would be just like, do you think we should revamp the police organization? Because I personally think we should. The police invoke a PTSD in us. The police were, created with the intentions of being slave catchers. Well, in Boston, where they originated, they were there to guard the shipping or whatever, but it was mostly like criminals that were doing the policing. because it was a punishment to be an officer. It was a punishment to be on watch or whatever. But in all the other states, they originated as slave catchers, and that's why a lot of people who are police were in the KKK, still are. Especially when in certain areas, like when you're dealing with like Cinnaminson, Cherry Hill, Mount Laurel, those areas, Millville. A lot of Millville, yeah, Florence, a lot of those areas, a lot of those police officers are still in those organizations. And so when people get upset saying they're not doing their job, I try to remind them they are doing their job. That's what they were created for. They were created to invoke fear and anybody opposing white America. That's what they're here for, and that's what they do. So as long as they want Black Americans to stay in America, that needs to do away. We need to do away with the police as we know it. And I don't mean create some new bullshit. I saw a video. This guy, his name is 19 Keys. He's on Instagram, and the police department being revamped is actually a fear of his, because his interpretation of that is there'll be plainclothes cops. And so they'll just be around just to be plainclothes bullies rather than whatever. And I get that fear. I understand that fear because look at the government that we live in. Whenever they give us something that makes us feel like we're a little bit more free, they put an underlying law underneath it that takes that freedom away. But as long as we're going to stay here and we're going to be integrated with these people, a lot of things must change for our comfortability. And we need to start acting like it. We don't act like it. We don't demand enough here. And we're not consistent enough with our demands. That's a problem. We don't feel entitled to things, and we should. So I think for the next meeting, if you guys could just think of some questions that we could add to the ballot, that would be great. I think my question to add to the ballot is, should we rid ourselves of the police as we know it?
I'm all for that.
For the Board of Education ballot question, I just want to I guess implement, like, if we should, I don't know how to word it, but I guess just like implement more education on Black history and Black present day culture. But the more I research like the different questions and how they're worded on the ballot, the better I'll be able to word it. And not just history, science, literature, social studies, psychology, everything. There's so many Black scholars out there that are not getting their credit. Most of the Black scholars and writers and researchers and philosophers that we learn about are white. So it's not even just history or social studies class, it's all across the board. And probably by next week or the week after, I should have better wording for that so I can type up something better. And I'll be putting that in the the Nobodies law group, the questions that I come up with verbatim. Once I have those set up, I'll be posting them there. Y'all just let me know what y'all think. I'll also be posting these deadline dates in the Nobodies law group as well, so you guys can become familiar with those dates, the deadline dates we have for the questions, deadline dates we have for the ballots and elections and things like that. That way we're on one accord. So that's it for the political part of this. Oh no, it's not. I have one more thing. How to develop a political party. I know that was something that was brought up before too. And so let's talk about it. So I found fec.gov, and they actually do talk about becoming a political party, the process, And it's pretty much the same thing as becoming elected. It's essentially, you have to be in that area. You have to be in the state of New Jersey for a certain period of time. You also have to be in you have the same thing with the petition. You have to have a certain amount of signatures on the petition for it to get passed. And then you have to have a bank account. You have to, of course, we have to be registered voters, and you have to have a one of the people in the organization have to be on the ballot. So in order to get recognized, we have to do those things. If we don't have the capital for it, that is not an issue. The capital is more so for the campaign. And we have so many free platforms. I think us, the younger people that use social media a lot, and then of course, Less Nobodies, we have so many lanes in social media right now. I think creating a free pipeline or a very low costing, effective pipeline to creating a political party, it doesn't sound difficult to me at all. It doesn't sound as difficult as some people are making it seem. But I don't know. What do you think?
No, I think that's good. Like you said, it's a lot of free platforms for us. So it's just up to us, so it all comes back to unity. We just have to unite and, make it actually happen. Because we can advertise for nothing.
Right. We could be advertising for nothing. I totally agree. I think that, this is the first meeting, so I didn't have high expectations. As we keep going and, people start seeing that we're being consistent and we're not playing and we're being serious about this, I think that the turnout will be better.
Yeah,
it'll definitely build. I think with this committee, with this political party, we also need to have like a just like a whole system within it, as far as, how like in the White House, you have the cabinets. I think there should be like a full cabinet inside of whatever political party we create. Everyone should have a place. I do have what'd I do with it? I want to say, this. I do have a organization chart showing how this is how like the county elections, the county positions are set up. You have the board of chosen freeholders, and then you have the county administrator. Off to the side, you have the county clerk, the sheriff, and then on the other side, you have administrators, and you have people below. We need potential people for each of these positions. If we have potential people for each of these positions, we can fill a whole ballot with just us by ourselves. The more people we have going for these positions, the more people, the less room there is to vote for anything else. You feel me? But if we just have a position, a potential candidate for each of these positions will be good. We need someone that is well versed in corrections or wants to revamp corrections in any type, way, shape, or form. We need somebody who's good at finance and administration, health services, human services, informational technology, a legal solicitor, public safety, public works, resource conservation, and solid waste. If we have people who make it their business to be well versed in one of these topics, we'll have somebody for each position when it comes to the general election. For those of you who are just tuning in, we're talking about how to get on the ballot, the deadlines to be on the ballot. If you check out lessnobodiescollection.com, we have group chats. If you go to Nobody's Law, you'll see I did have a few posts I put up there. I had a brother who created a constitution, a Moorish constitution that he actually did submit to the World Court. He's waiting on a response from that, which is pretty cool. But we have some deadlines coming up to get on the ballot and to get questions on the ballot. And we just want to know what are some questions that we could add to the ballot during election time. And if anybody's interested in getting into the politics during this time, definitely come speak up. We're trying to develop our own political party and so on and so forth. Oh, that's for the guys that just walked in. I also have the forms for petitions in the state of New Jersey. So if you need a petition to become a candidate on the ballot, please let me know. I'll email it to you. That's not an issue. And also the Board of Education. Anybody that's interested in being on the Board of Education, my teachers out there, especially my homeschool mothers and things like that, please, 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 we need y'all the most, because y'all the ones out here creating curriculums for these kids that are being homeschooled. So if y'all can come on the Board of Ed and do the same thing, let's do it. So that's all I have for politics. What are your inputs political wise?
I kind of came in a little late, so I'm just kind of catching up with everything. You hit everything for me pretty much spot on. You know, it's just it has to be a complete reform,
right?
And it's not going to happen unless we are the party, and we, you know, take care and take the reins, and take over. You know.
So if we were to start our own political party, what would be like a name for it?
The Panther Party.
The Panther Party? I fucks with it. Nobodies. We the Nobodies.
Nobody's Party.
Nobody's Party. I like that because we're really not nobody's party. All right, so we could think of some cool names. I'm gonna stick with Nobody's Party because it sounds good to me for obvious reasons. We need I already got a slogan. Nobody is there, nothing is everything. We already got colors. We already got images. We already got platforms. So let's do the damn thing. Nobody's Party. Let's get it. All right. So then all we got to do is I'm going to post this in the on Nobody's Law group on nobodiescollection.com as well. But this is the FEC website on how to organize to become a political party. So that's first thing first. That's what we're going to do first. We're going to become a political party, and then we're going to go from there. We're going to start getting people on the ballot. For those of you who have not registered to vote yet, you guys reached the deadline. The deadline was on the 16th. So I need y'all to contact whoever y'all need to contact to see if y'all can still register to vote ASAP, like tomorrow. Make it a priority, because if you're not registered to vote, you can't be a part of the campaign either. It's not just about voting. And that's a lot of things that mess up people too. You can't be on a campaign. You can't help anybody do anything if you're not a registered voter. And that's what messes a lot of us up, because a lot of y'all not registering to vote because y'all think it's just about voting. It's not just about voting. You can't be a part of it. You can't even sign my petition if you're not a registered voter. You're not even valid on my petition. So you can't even fully support our political party if you're not a registered voter. So yes, please, please, please get that done, or we can't do anything. That's first things first. So we're gonna get the political party set up. To do that, like I said before, we're gonna start an account, and start asking people who want to fill these positions, who's interested in these positions to be this or that within. And I'll keep posting up information that I find about that on Nobody's Law group on let'snobodiescollection.com. So cool. Yay. First conclusion. Let's do it. All right. And next Thursday, I need you guys to think of some questions we can add to the ballot. Please, please, please think of some questions.
The ballot is for the change that we want in our community, correct?
Yes, the changes. And these are questions either on the federal, the general election ballot, or on the state municipal ballot. So either or you want to do. Let's just have the questions. Let's learn how to word the questions so that they're valid and they're qualified to even be on the ballot. A lot of us can't write the way that is necessary to write. So we're going to learn. And we have until August 25th to do that. So that's fine. That gives us time. All right. So that's it for the politics of the meeting. Let's get into business ownership. Land purchasing. Did you find any parcels of land or buildings or anything like that?
I mean, I found a few parcels of land. It was, mainly the ones I sent you. And
okay.
The price range just seems to be, I'll say, no more than $2 million for what we're trying to accomplish.
Okay.
You remember I was saying that 640 acres is 1 square mile. So that is a mile going in each direction in all 4 square ways. It's a mile. So that, you know, enough space for businesses or our homes, parks and schools and everything we need, So I would say it's right
Mhm.
around that. So if we get at least 100 people, and I'm saying 100 people because a million people are awesome, but I'm saying 100 people to at least it's going to be a small, community basically. So we just need a small group that's dedicated to making this happen, and then we move forward. So I'm actually on my phone. I can't really do anything while I'm on the phone.
Gotcha.
But like I would say, our goal should be like 2 million.
Okay. So, for those of you that can't hear, because I have headphones on, because everything echoes, I have like screens everywhere. But like, what he's saying is that we need to purchase a square mile, so that we have enough space, and that's about 2 million in the state of New Jersey. Um, and that makes sense. I think that we should start off small. That should be the goal, definitely. But I think we should start off small. We need one building to start off with, just like a meeting ground. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, I get you. Like a
We need a headquarters.
that's ours.
Yes. So if we could find at least one building, maybe I'm
Yeah.
thinking like in that area, like Central Jersey. That way, North Jersey can come down, South Jersey can come up. It's a middle ground. That would be great. I was thinking Trenton or Hamilton. I know it's not ideal, but it's cheap, especially if we get like one of them cheap houses and renovate it and meet in there.
Yeah.
We can meet in there. We can
Yeah, I
have
mean,
business
I
in
think
there. I've seen so many businesses, especially in the state of Virginia. A lot of those businesses in Virginia, they're houses. You walk into a house and it's a store, it's a restaurant.
right. I mean, we could also look into warehouses too, like warehouse space. We could find a
Mhm.
big, empty warehouse that's probably, probably gonna be less than a house will be, and then we just fill it up with rooms, make our own walls, whatever we got to do to make it happen.
I like that. I
But
like
that'll
that
give us
idea a
space.
lot.
That'll give us space. So if there's, say, another pandemic or anything, we have a safe haven to
Right.
where our community can come to it, and get safe, be safe.
I like that. Yes, let's do that. Okay, so what he's saying is we should get a warehouse. We should put our coins together and purchase a warehouse, and that's large enough for us to do our business, for us to meet in there. And it's also, if there was ever a pandemic or anything, it would be a safe haven for us to go to. So let's put our brains together this week for next Thursday. If we could find three warehouses each within a reasonable price range that we could put our coins together in, let's do that. I like that idea a lot. Yeah, that clicked. I like that.
Hmm.
Let's do the warehouse thing. Just to start off with, we definitely gonna get that square mile. That's not an issue. That's not an issue. We just gotta start small, and when we start small, that make it look more doable to people that's just walking in. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want to scare them
Yeah,
with no
yeah.
$2 million price tag.
I feel you. I feel you.
We trying to get spoiled early.
Off the rip, we deserve it.
You absolutely right. We deserve it. We deserve way more than that. So yeah. So the next meeting, let's start off with 2 to 3 warehouse properties for sale. That's awesome. And that'll be
Yeah,
like our meeting quarters for everything.
right. We could section it off exactly how we need it to be sectioned off. We have our office in one space. We have a teaching center, for the youth, you know, uh, tutors, just everything. The possibilities are endless with the warehouse.
Got you. Yay! Look at us making progress. Okay, so that's what we're doing with that. All right, let's move on from the ownership. Let's get into defense. There is a Black-owned gun shop in the state of New Jersey. It's actually in North Jersey. And let me look that up real quick because I forgot that fast. What is the shooting range? I forget what it's called, but I feel like it's on. I forget where.
I know what you're talking about, though. I seen it on Facebook before I left.
Right. I want to say it's in Patterson, but I don't want to lie to you either. But yeah, there are Black-owned gun shops in New Jersey. For those of you who are working towards getting your gun license, I definitely think we should. That should be a group thing, a group effort to do that.
It's not that hard to get it either.
It's really not. It's a form you fill out, and it's like an application fee, and then you just wait for it to get processed.
Yeah, you gotta do an application. Go to your city police department, get an application. If they're open right now, a lot of them you could do it online now. So just check online and see if you can do it. But fill out the application. You have to go get your fingerprints done. After the fingerprints are done, they're going to do a background check. Once the background check is complete, you should be getting your license soon after that.
Yeah.
But with the whole COVID-19, like that's been slowing things down. Like I put my application in. I had mine in 2015, but it expired. So I just redid it like this year. I would say I don't know, March or early April. And I still haven't, gotten anything back. So I think the COVID is slowing it down, or they just don't want me to have a gun.
I think, well, I have a friend that's in Ohio right now, and it's lifted now, but he was saying when COVID first started, they were preventing people, not preventing, but they were telling people they weren't filing any gun licenses, more so because people were fucking crazy and people were really like beating each other up over toilet paper. So it was crowd control, which was necessary at that point in time because people were acting crazy. So respect to that, because sometimes, you have to, even though there are a lot of intelligent people like us that know how to act regardless of what's going on, you still have to govern over the crazies. And unfortunately, people like us suffer in the midst of it, but it is what it is. I would rather none of us be able to than we did, and everybody's getting shot because we weren't expecting this Black movement to occur during quarantine. But only God knows what would happen if everybody had got their gun licenses in March when people were going crazy over toilet paper. It wouldn't be well right now.
It'd be a lot more madness.
Yes, it would be a lot more madness. So, some good decisions were made. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure probably by like July you'll probably start getting stuff back, because I think that's when the courts start opening up again. So just go to your local police station, tell them you want the paper to register for gun ownership, get your fingerprints done, and do a background check, and then et cetera, et cetera. It's pretty easy process. It's just time and patience. So that's definitely something that should be happening. Also, we should be learning how to utilize our bodies as weapons as well. It's not just about having a gun. Sometimes you won't have your gun on you, especially in the state of New Jersey. Please do not get caught with your gun on you in the state of New Jersey. Not the way these cops are right now. It's not the time yet. Soon, but not yet. So we need to learn how to use our bodies as weapons. I live in Burlington City. There's actually a Black-owned I don't know if it's jujitsu. You know what? I think it's an MMA gym. That's right here on Route 130 in Burlington City. And it is Black owned, and they do one-on-one, they do family. They're really, really good. They're nice. I went in there a couple times before the quarantine started because I was going to sign me and the boys up. But definitely learn how to use your body as a weapon as well. I know a couple people, if you guys are interested, that are doing telecommunication classes. So if you and your family want to do a class with somebody through Zoom or whatever, I can link you to those individuals that do Tai Chi and Jiu-Jitsu and all that. Um, so that's what I have for defense is make sure
Can
you
I
have
add
as
to
many.
that?
Yeah, please.
So yeah, I was just, after having my son, I've been taking that more seriously as far as body martial art.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing I've noticed is that these guys, these Caucasians, they're not just, little old Billy and Tom anymore. They're going into these MMA classes. You have no clue what kind of training they have, what pressure point training they have, none of that. So just thinking
Right.
that boxing technique is going to be enough, you got to be able to use your legs too. We're so used to, oh, let's box, let's go to boxing class. Nah, I mean, if you don't know how to use your feet, you're in trouble if somebody knows how to use their feet. You're in trouble
Mm-hmm.
if somebody knows how to wrestle and you don't know how to wrestle. So we
Right.
have to find a martial art that combines all of it, which I think MMA is perfect. We and I feel like that's something we should do as a group. Set up a specific day, twice or maybe twice out the week or something like that. We'll figure it out. But
Okay.
besides the self defense with the guns, besides the self defense with your hands and your feet, we need to defend ourselves with recording. So body cams are not expensive. Uh,
Mm-mm.
uh, police scanners, they're legal. You know what I'm saying? You can get a police scanner and it's legal to have it. So you know what they're talking about, what they're looking at, and that can help us monitor our communities because okay, hey, little Johnny just got pulled over there on second. As a group, let's go over there, make sure he's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Work our way up to that, I would say.
Right. Okay. So this is what I can do. I'm gonna shop around to different defense I guess defense instructors. I'm gonna price
Yeah,
them and ask them how they feel about doing maybe a once a week telecommunications on Let's Nobody's platform, and we all as a group can sit in and we all can do it together.
yeah.
Yeah.
See
Okay.
what the group rate is, and we just all do it.
All right. So the next meeting, I should have a group rate for you guys, and we got to come to a conclusion on what day of the week will work best for all of us. What time will work best. If you can't make it, you can't make it. I probably won't record those for people because we'll be paying for it, and that wouldn't be fair. But
Right.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna look into finding a defense instructor that doesn't mind being on Less Nobody's website once a week. Cool, awesome idea. Kickboxing is good too.
Yeah,
Kickboxing.
yeah. Kickboxing is great. Again, it's just we have to find something that incorporates everything. So grappling on the groundwork. You know what I'm saying? I was very interested in Muay Thai, and I still am. But if I did that, I would have to find something like jujitsu that works with the ground. You know what I'm saying? To just have a 360, can defend myself, standing, sitting, no matter where. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not saying I can't now, but I'm just saying, we just need to take that step to ensuring that we can handle anything.
Nope. I definitely agree because a lot of stuff that we learn in martial arts, they're not even realistic holds or moves or situations you're going to be in when you're defending yourself or your body, especially when dealing with police officers. So, yeah, definitely. Again, what you said with the recording and things like that, I saw someone. On the comments they said it wasn't a real app and it wasn't working, but someone was talking about building an app on Google and you press a button and it automatically calls people and it automatically starts live streaming what's happening and it pings your location and everything all at the same time as soon as you press this button. I don't know if something like that really exists for us. I would like to look deeper into that to see if maybe there's an app that already exists out there. I know there's a lot of Black web coders and designers. Maybe they have something already for that. As well as we should have our own hotline number we can call. Um, there should be a number that we can call for stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and I think that will come with the political party. Once we establish a political party, we need an army in place within the political party, that like a private owned security within the political party, because that should be who
Yep.
we call instead of calling 911. They should show up to our house instead of the police showing up to our house, so we no longer have to call them when we need help with things. And if you do get pulled over with the police officer and you don't feel safe, you should be able to call someone. And we need at least 2 or 3 bodies in each county to start off with. More if possible. It would be great if we had more, but being realistic, we need to start looking in different counties for bodies that are willing to be in that space.
Yeah, to be our security force.
Right.
I mean, and that's what I was saying with the police scanner. Like, and again, it's going to have to be the people that are dedicated to it. You know what I'm saying, and build shifts to where somebody's listening the entire time. Like, okay, or for a shift at a time. And hey, like I said, Johnny over there got pulled over on 2nd Street. All 3 of us need to band up, get together, get our cameras ready, get our, pepper spray ready. We need to look into pepper spray too, because police unlawfully killing somebody, he is valid to be killed back. You know what I'm saying? So we need to be able to have something. I mean, I know it ain't gonna be the bullet, but shit, if I could blind him and try to at least juke him to the side or something,
right,
I'm gonna try it. You know what I mean?
We need an entire procedure for when this is happening to our people in front of us. We need a couple people. Okay, it shouldn't be 20 people holding phones recording. You don't need that many fucking angles when somebody's on the ground screaming for help. That's not helpful. That's scary, and it's called Superman complex. You're waiting for someone to be brave enough to jump in the circle, but it ain't you.
Right.
2 or 3 people recording it is enough. It's enough in a courtroom. And 2 to 3 people need to know, okay, they need to know techniques. Like you said, mace, start off with the mace. The police officer is blinded and he's more worried about his eyes than reaching for his gun. Tase next. Right. Don't even give him a minute to think, because it's 2 or 3, 4 of y'all at the same time. So at the same time somebody macing, another person should be tasing, another person should grab some handcuff the police officer, and then everybody run. We're not killing him. He's handcuffed. You can't say we did anything to him. We didn't start anything. It was a civilian arrest, and everybody's out and everybody's safe. It shouldn't be 20 people in a circle recording. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I mean, everything is recorded, on the police vehicle. If the police vehicle is not recording, he's in the wrong more again. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, absolutely.
So we need proper techniques on how to disarm a police officer when he's doing things like that. That's something that we need to learn. And that'll come with the defense instructor class. Hopefully, the more we learn about moves, we can start creating different, coordinating moves together to disarm. And not just for police officers. We got a lot of Plug Boys in our community too. A couple of nights ago, I heard gunshots. We need things for that too within our community. So that's all I have for defense. Anything anybody want to add? We good off that? Okay. So this is the last thing I have on the agenda. This was pretty good. Coordinating an event. In Burlington City, the soonest I can coordinate an event is for August, and that's kind of too late. It's after all of our deadlines for everything. And I would like to have an event prior to that, probably like towards the end of this month. It don't have to be nothing big. We all can just meet up at the park. It don't matter to me. We all can meet up at the park, play some music, bring some hot dogs and hamburgers. People can bring a table, put some jewelry on the table. It doesn't have to be an official people paid for this kind of event. We all can just meet up somewhere. That needs to happen. So we need a date and a place for an event to get some petitions signed for these questions to put on the ballot, get some petitions signed for whoever to get this political party started. And that's where my mind is at. And then get the names of some of these Black-owned businesses out too. If Black-owned businesses want to pop up and put a table up and have their jewelry on the table, let's do it. I also have a friend who wants to start doing movie nights I told him I have a projector and a projector screen, so when he does his movie nights on Facebook, I could just connect the Facebook to my projector screen. We were thinking about starting off with hidden colors.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I definitely want to touch bases on him to find out what day he would be willing to start that. Because if we can get hidden colors playing, and like around this time, was this like almost 9 o'clock? Yeah, get like at least one film playing around this time, maybe a couple hours before this time. We have the tables out, some music, a little bit of food, some information. We can even conduct a meeting in person. Just have it be set up as a meeting. That way we're not interrupted or bothered because they're doing all this social distancing stuff, and it's no different than the 20s when we weren't allowed to congregate with each other. But yes, I would like to get together and do that within the next week or so. So my homework for that will be finding a location for us to meet up. And what do you think about that? Do you have any location ideas?
I mean, I would just keep it, where you said at the first place was a warehouse, Trenton, that area, because it is the center. You know what I mean? Like, so everybody's, if you traveling from each end, either way, you traveling an hour. If you live closer, then you live closer. That's just what it is.
All right, bet. So I'm gonna look up some different areas in Trenton that we could possibly have our first outdoor event, and our first outdoor event will probably be it will most likely. What are your Thursdays like? You go to work and then we just do the meetings. Like, what is your Thursdays like?
My Thursdays, I'm off Thursday, from my 9 to 5, but I do side jobs, so I'll be working,
So
But what's that?
no, what days are you totally like? What day would be a good event day of the week for you?
Sunday.
Sunday. Okay, that works. So we'll do it
But I
on
mean,
Sunday.
again, I'm making transitions, so I'm not planning on being at this job too much longer. So stuff is going to change. You know what I'm saying? But right now, Sunday.
What's today? Today's the 19th.
And you know something? I think I'm gonna look at how to coordinate a parade. Let's coordinate a parade.
Parades are pretty easy too. So if I did something like if we just met up on like the 28th, just on some outside thing, watching a movie and stuff like that, that would be work. That would work. No, that's
That's
next week.
Sunday.
No, that's not. That's too soon. Dang, I'm a week behind. The 5th is good because that's before the election day. Because July 7th is the deadline for the ballots. So if we did something outside on the 5th, that's like 2 days before. And if we needed any petitions signed prior to, that's cool. That'll work. And then whenever you want to do the parade, let's do it. And that could also be like the introduction to marketing for the parade if we end up getting a date for that and stuff.
Yeah. So the meeting for what you said, the 5th or the 2nd?
The 5th.
You said the 5th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 2 Sundays from now.
How many days?
That's 2 Sundays from now.
Okay. I mean that's plenty of time. But that day we can sit and plan out what the parade is going to be basically about.
All right, bet that works. And we can find out what the process is for a parade out there, and that's 2 days before the election deadline. So whatever we conjure up between these next 2 Thursdays, our product will be whatever we put out on the 5th.
Right.
All right, that works. So last things last. For all of those that are still watching, I want y'all to know if you go on letsnobodiescollection.com WeBuyBlack.com, RockTheBells.com. Well, not RockTheBells.com. Erase what I just said. What else? BlackWallStreet.com, etc. You can buy black. Tomorrow is Juneteenth. We know that we should only be buying black during that time. From July, what was it, the 3rd to the 7th? We should only be buying black during that time. Tomorrow, I will not be on Facebook, Instagram. I will only be on Melanated People or LessNobodiesCollection.com or the Cookout. I will only be on black social media pages. 1billionclub.com. I'll be up there as well. I will not be on Instagram or Facebook. Period at all tomorrow at all. And nobody should be. And the next meeting will be next Thursday at 7:30 on LessNobodiesCollection.com. So our homework for next week is ballot questions. Cabinet candidates.
You have that diagram on the website, right?
I'll be posting it. I'll post it on the website. It'll be, if all the stuff that we talked about as far as politics goes, it'll be on Nobody's Law. That it'll be under that group. Okay. What else? We're gonna look up 2 to 3 warehouses. The ones that I find, I'll be posting them on Nobody's Owned, because that group is all about ownership. Defense instructors and their price. And I'll also be asking people if they're interested, see how many people we have that'll be interested. And I'm going to give them a deadline till like next Tuesday to let me know if they're serious, because I don't want to waste my time.
Right.
A location for our first event. I'm going to pull up the New Jersey Constitution and make it my business. Every meeting that we have, we're going to go over a little bit of the New Jersey Constitution each meeting. That way, by August, we know what we're looking at. And if we want to put any amendments on the ballot, we have enough time to do so. So that's what I'll be doing. Anything you want to
add? Nothing I can think of right now. I'm sitting back trying to think now if there's anything, but not that I can think of.
We pretty much covered it.
I can't wait till next week, if anything.
All right. Well, feel free to.
Yeah, you pretty much knocked it all out.
Yeah. This is cool.
You already know.
Progress.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And like, in time, more people will join, and that's the whole thing. We want people that are serious,
right?
Not if you're gonna listen for a day, but if you're not helping, you're in the way.
Mm-hmm.
We need people that are serious.
I agree. All right, then. That's a conclusion to this meeting. We all have our homework. I'll be posting what it is that we need to have by the next meeting. Hopefully we have more business owners, our financial people, our political people and stuff in the group so they can add their 2 cents. And New Jersey has home rule, right? Did we talk about that last meeting?
No.
That's one thing I really like about New Jersey. If you notice, during quarantine, the cities have been kind of governing themselves. The state has allowed each city to lift laws as they please as they go along, and that's home rule, the ability for a municipal to govern themselves. So if we collectively attack not attack, but if we collectively become politicians for one specific area, we could take over that municipal area and flex the home rule.
Now, is homeroom only for bricks per se?
What do you mean?
Like, so like homeroom, like, are just any given day if we need to lift a law, is that can we do it like that, or is it only going through a quarantine or a pandemic? Like, is it only for pandemics, or is it something we can just do?
It's not necessarily getting rid of laws. It's more so governing ourselves. So like if you want to allow certain things, if you don't want to like penalize certain things, like when you're in the city of Elizabeth, you can move way different than how you can move in Millville or Florence,
Right,
Burlington. Why? Because the city governs itself. There's certain things that the cops are going to stop you for, certain things that they're not going to stop you for. I'm more likely to get pulled over in South Jersey than I am in Elizabeth or East Orange because for a lot of reasons. And home rule is not necessarily getting rid of rules on paper, is more so kind of ignoring them on paper or flexing other things. A lot of stuff that people do isn't written on paper. It's not laws. It's more so like superstitions.
statutes.
If I tell you long enough something is true, you're going to believe it's true because I conditioned you to believe it and not question what I'm saying because I'm a figure of authority. And
Right,
you're taught to respect me regardless of what I'm saying is true or not. And I think that's a lot of things that people fall for. And that's something that we should flex. Now, you're not going to sit in a room full of politicians and they tell you that the home rule is real. It's not going to happen because
right.
for them to admit that, but they show us every day that it is real because, like I said, you can't do the same stuff out here that you can go in East Orange or Elizabeth to do. I feel comfortable going in Elizabeth. Well, I feel more comfortable down here sparking a blunt outside than I do in Elizabeth.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So, things like that.
So I mean, quick question: like, what city
But
would you
that's
want to?
something that'll come along the way. Up in the air with that because there's a lot of pros and cons to either way you could go. You could do a big city like Elizabeth, which I love, and will be somewhat easy to do because I know the councilman out there. I used to work for the city out there, and I have sat in spaces with the mayor a lot of times. We know enough mutual people for us to be in the same circle and it'd be okay. So Elizabeth will be easy, and it's a big city. Or somewhere small, but a lot of the small cities in New Jersey are being gentrified, and we don't know the mentality of the gentrifiers. It will be trying to get gentrifiers to
Right.
vote for us, knowing what we stand for. And I'm not gonna be quiet about what I stand for. Our flag gonna be RBG, feel me? So
Straight up. Straight
um,
up.
it's and we would all have to collectively make the decision to migrate to where we're trying to go because we have to live in that area for a year before we can go for positions in that area.
Right.
That's when we can do collective economics and room with each other, or you just need an address. So if we were to buy a house in an area and we all use that area as our address, we lived there for a year. Feel me?
Right.
Right. It's loopholes.
I mean, I guess it's due time. I hear what you're saying about Elizabeth and it being you being close to the politicians, but how is their land? You know what I mean? Like, what land do they have?
That's the con to it. I don't like the area is crowded. It's
Right.
really crowded. It's not everything is already built on. Everything is already kind of established. So you're kind of sitting on top of what is already there. But there is a really big Black community there. Same thing with Newark. It's a really big Black community. It's a supportive Black community. Same thing with Trenton, another supportive Black community. Camden is another good one. Another good supportive Black community. I was leaning towards Black communities that need to be fixed, like Camden. Areas like that because our voices would be heard. It's not too much opposition out there from other people. I know
Right.
Trenton will be hard. I think the politicians out in Trenton, they don't play. They're career politicians. Burlington City would even be easy because this is a small town, and nobody really likes the mayor out here anyway. I can't stand his ass. Um, he's a little black dude. He like to kiss white ass. I can't stand
Uh,
it. We got one of those. We're definitely being gentrified heavy out here. But that's the thing. Like we're being gentrified heavy out here. Is they everywhere out here. They own a lot of the businesses out here now. They're closing up a lot of the houses out here and up in the rent and stuff like that. So like support wouldn't be that heavy, I don't think, out here, because the people
okay.
who are not gentrifiers are kind of drunks. But it is a small town, so if we were all to get a location here, I mean, just like you said, if we get 100 people, that's all we needed on the petition anyway.
That's it. Like, and that'd just be our, our members. You know what I'm saying? Like that just be a whole entire membership type of
Yeah, that's
shit.
voting power right there. So if we got 100 people and 100 people got 10 houses and we all use those 10 houses as our addresses, we all lived here for like a year, that would be our voting power. That would drown out some of the opposition in small towns. That wouldn't work in somewhere big and crowded, but like the smaller areas where not too many people are voting for it to begin with, it will work. I think Bronson City is a nice like area for that. There's a lot of stuff for sale out here. There's a lot of houses for auction. Auction.com starts off at $100. So we can get like a lot of these beat up houses out here and just use that as voting power. It's also a lot of warehouses out here too.
All right, I gotta get my brother on here for next week because he knows a little something about real estate.
Bet that'd be awesome. Same thing with my dad. He just got into real estate like a couple years ago or so. So definitely trying to get him into this next meeting too, so we could talk about it, put our heads together for locations and stuff like that. And that's another thing. Let's look up a town. Let's look up the towns in Jersey and see what will be a good area to migrate to, if you will, political wise.
Yeah. I mean, my grandfather, he was, I'm from Goultown, so and I
Okay.
love Goultown. And I haven't lived there all my life, but that's where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? But out there, it's a lot of trees. It's a lot of just area. You know what I mean? And we can cut down what we need to cut down, keep what we need to keep. And it's a lot of it's black people out there. It's a lot of black people out there, but then you still got those light skinned blacks that and I mean I'm not saying nothing about nobody, but I'm just saying like they try to go towards the white way. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it real. And you got some white people out there that have a lot of influence out there. So I don't know, but I'm just saying something. You know how I go. It's about land for me. Like we need the land mass.
Yeah.
So it's no question on what we can do when we need to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So when we're looking at uh, political locations, what are some of the characteristics that we're looking for? I would say my first thing would be demographics, um, the main age, because the younger kids or are more so open to a RBG political party. So we want to look at the age, race, or culture, because we know older white people will be less likely to vote for us.
Right.
Like you said, land. I've never been to Gold Town. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
For
Um,
real?
mm-mm.
Wow. I mean, it's not just Goldtown. It's like Rosenham, like Upper Deerfield, like all that place. Like you just come down one day and I'll take you through all of it, and you'll see like it's just this empty land. You know what I'm saying? Like land that is just owned by somebody that just doesn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like it's
That's
just
how I
there.
feel about
Like,
Millville. Millville has so many empty houses, and them empty houses only like $5,000, $10,000. Some less
yeah.
than that. Like the mobile homes like 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom for like $3,000-$4,000. Like
Straight like that.
like Millville was like a forgotten gem. They made a whole bunch of BS plazas on Delsey Drive and then just left again.
Right. It'll be tough for Millville because that's the clan itself. The badge of the clan is there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it'll be a nice city to conquer, I'll tell you that.
That'll be yeah. I mean, I'm down for the fight for wherever. You know what I'm saying? Like wherever we going. You know, I don't care if we go to what's that Ocean County. You know what I'm saying? Like let's take it. You know, we're not asking no more. We're taking.
Yeah, we're
You
taking
understand?
from all levels.
That's
So,
right, and we're gonna do it the right way.
yep. Respect.
So yeah.
So
All right.
demographics, land space.
That's a big one for me. I'll say education. We need to see what the homeschool. I know it's like a homeschool. Ain't no homeschooling laws in New Jersey,
Mm-mm.
so we can basically start our own school. Basically, just homeschool. You know, call it homeschooling.
Mm-hmm.
In our curriculum be, you know, math and finance. You know, science and physics. You know what I mean? It's like it's always going to be something that you deal with every single day. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. And that could be within the warehouse.
Right. Right. We can contain that. We can start that in the warehouse, and we just call them tutors. You know what I'm saying? It's about it's a name. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing but a name. You know what I mean? Just use the name and do master professor work. You know what I mean?
Right. I agree. Okay. Well, let's work on it. We got homework for next Thursday. And I'll be posting posts to let people know what they need to bring to the next meeting. And the people that are serious are going to bring it. And the people that's
That's
not,
it.
be here. That's all that matters. It's going to get done.
That's right.
All right, cuz I'll let you go. I got a couple things I got to do and stuff.
All right.
I'll be talking to you. Love you.
Indeed. I love you too. Talk to you later.
All right.